Welcome into the Minto Sports Complex for this matinee game on a Sunday. Arguably the biggest game of the GG season so far. The Concordia Stingers have traveled to the nation's capital to take on the GGs. In this one, Concordia can clinch top spot in the RSEQ with a win. The GGs trying to chase down the Montreal Carabins for the second spot in the RSEQ playoffs. The thought of chasing down Concordia and claiming the league title is a little bit out of reach, and with Nationals right around the corner and the skill of the GGs at home, their defense of home ice this season, it becomes ever more important. We're going to keep this nice and sweet ahead of our Seniors Day ceremony. A lot of graduates here for the GGs. One, Vicky Harkness, you pointed her out as a key player today.
100%. I mean, just like an Ambri-Piotta, you know, she came back. She had her 1 year left of eligibility, and with her, she brings a wealth of experience from the NCAA, which is a totally different ballpark, you could say, compared to the youth sports. And she's someone who's bought into the program that Chelsea girls set out for the team this year. Hard on the forecheck, hard on the back check, just an all-around really great addition to this team. And she's been a huge part of the success of this team so far. And so for her, this is her one last push, right? This is her last year of eligibility. You have a great team, a great group of girls to deal with. This is your opportunity. So I'm expecting a really big performance from her tonight, especially ahead of seniors night as well.
And with those spots limited, they become ever so important. Harkness, a player who knows how to get it done, an assistant captain at UConn, and an exceptional player here with the University of Ottawa. At the other end of the ice, you've identified Emmy Fecteau, the danger woman for the Concordia Stingers, a player who will be here next year and has haunted the GGs this season.
And she's someone that's going to be instrumental in the game today. If Concordia is looking to win, she needs to come out with a big game. You know, she's a huge part of the success on the power play as well, operating at over 20%. Even though she's only had one goal herself on the power play, she has about 10 points on the power play as well. And so that to me just speaks to the hockey IQ of Emmy Fecteau and the ability to set up her other teammates on the power play as well. Whether you score, whether you set it up, same amount of points. So she's really instrumental in their success on that main advantage as well.
Ed, we were looking over, we were trying to find that stat, how many power play goals. I read one and I didn't believe it with the release that she has, but she reads the game exceptionally well. 17 assists so far this season for Emmy Fecteau. It should be a good one. The GGs won the last meeting between these two teams. That one, Arian Minville, who tapped it in overtime. We're hoping for another game like that here tonight. We'll be back in a moment's time for our Seniors Day presentation, the national anthem, and puck drop.
The starting lineup for visiting Concordia Stingers was in the Formation Patin des Stingers. On defense, number 8, Ambri-Piotta. À la défense, numéro 91, Alexandra and Goalie. Forward, number 13, Rosalie BJC. Attaquant, numéro 7, Zoé Thibault. Forward, number 29, Emmy Fecteau. Ce groupe d'athlètes seniors ont fait preuve de leadership, démontre la détermination et contribue énormément à l'équipe dans leur carrière avec les Canadiens Canal. We are fortunate to be joined today by the families of those honorable student athletes to recognize their varsity accomplishments. A master's student in neuroscience from Deep River, in her 5th and final year of eligibility, number 3, Taylor Sims. D'activité physique et étoile académique canadienne en sa 3e année d'éligibilité, le 3e à Québec, le numéro 29, Aurélie Duvet. A criminology student from Toronto, Ontario, in her 3rd year of eligibility, and academic all-Canadian, number 35, Alexa Gibson. Education student from Berwick, Ontario, in her 5th and final year of eligibility, number 92, Vicky Harkness. A master's student in education from Ottawa, in her 5th and final year of eligibility, number 93, Abigail Malani. GG Seniors 2022-2023. Voici les athlètes seniors de 2022-2023 de vos GGs. Merci pour votre dévouement et vos contributions au programme de hockey féminin des GGs. Thank you for your dedication and contribution to the GGs Women's Hockey Program. Encore une fois, merci à vous tous. At this time, as part of our pregame program, please join us for the Indigenous affirmation, followed by a recording of the national anthem. Dans le cadre de notre cérémonie d'affirmage, joignez-nous pour l'affirmation autochtone suivie de l'hymne national. As we gather for this event, the GGs pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are the traditional guardians of this land. Nous reconnaissons le lien sacré de longue date de l'Union territoire qui demeure non cédé. Nous rendons également hommage à toutes les personnes autochtones qui habitent Ottawa, qu'elles soient de la région ou d'ailleurs au Canada. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers both young and old, and we honor their greatest leaders, past, present, and future. Merci. Thank you.
Welcome into the Minto Sports Complex for Declan DeBarp and Brianna Newell. We have the GGs taking on the Concordia Singers in Seniors Day. Looks like about half of the program is leaving this next year, so this one a big game for the GGs as they look to start their quest into the playoffs and hopefully ending in nationals. Starting for Concordia University, we have Alice Philbert. Philbert 14-3-1, a .927 save percentage. She's looking to bounce back from the last loss here at the Minto Sports Complex against the GGs 2 weeks ago. Down at the other end, the University of Ottawa start with Aurélie Dubuc, one of a number of graduating students. Dubuc, a .929 save percentage, a .941 record this season. She was sensational the last time these two teams met and was a big part of the reason that one ended in favor of the University of Ottawa. Brianna, this a game we've talked about being crucial for the University of Ottawa this season. They're currently 3 points behind the Montreal Carabins, including a game in hand. They'll be looking to lock up that home ice advantage.
For the GGs, this is their biggest game of the season so far. This is your playoff atmosphere. And in regards to Dubuc, this is her time to shine if the GGs are looking to be coming out on top this afternoon.
Aurélie Dubuc, already a gold medal this season. She'll be looking to win a gold medal and to lead this team to nationals. She'll be crucial for the GGs tonight. Emmy Fecteau looks to play a part in that plan. Here's Big Sear, she has a shot. It's up in the air, and
Great first stop there by Aurélie Dubuc. And if you're the GGs, momentum is really in your favor right
here
now.
come the GG, Sophie Garo. Garo
Great
had
play.
Devin with her, all alone at the back post. Stop, end-to-end action to start things off here in Ottawa.
It was a great defensive play by the Stingers to break up that pass, oncoming rush by the GGs. And, you know, a lot of emotion here. It's seniors afternoon, or seniors night, as you want to call it. All momentum right now is for the GGs, so if they're looking to take advantage, now's the time. First good shot there by Harkness.
12 graduating players on a roster of 20. This is the year for the University of Ottawa.
Great step up there, and way to go by Harkness to keep it in the Stinger zone.
Kylie Lalonde battles in for it. She's watched the whole way by Richard. Clavel looking to poke it loose. It comes up to Chloe Gendreau, part of this very dangerous second line for the Concordia Stingers. I think you do them a disservice to call them a second line. Really a 1A, 1B line. Here's Angelique Prue. She steps up and dumps that one. It takes a funny bounce off the boards. Alyssa Biesenthal, a hat trick against Carleton. On Friday night, that one, the Alyssa Biesenthal show. The GGs won that one 4-3.
And if you're Biesenthal, you're looking to have another standout game to carry that momentum from Friday's amazing performance.
She's reached 10 goals on the season. Banked off only as far as Angelique Prue, who loses the handles on it to Marquin Joubert. Over the line, looking for a shot. That was Bureau Gagnon.
Great block there by Taylor Sims.
Sims has been so steady this year. Angelique Prue, the transfer from Cégep Limoilou, as Olivia Hale dumps that one down, the Toronto, Ontario native. Taylor Sims picks it up. Looking to start back the other way. It's in the skates of Sophie Garo. Her parents have traveled all the way up to the nation's capital. They brought some lovely signs to welcome her onto the ice for warm-up.
And you love to see that. That's awesome. We're trying to get a good look here at the signs. They got some good little headshots from Sophie over the years here that she's been playing with you, Ottawa, and that's the kind of stuff you like to see, especially on seniors night. It's such an emotional afternoon, and you know, it always makes you want to play harder when you got fans in the stands, especially with signs like these.
Rink is full of proud parents here today. We have Jamie McDonald's mom here as well, another one of those players who is stated to come back. We hope she will come back. She's been so crucial this year, as here she is spinning.
Great cross-ice pass there over to
Jay Todd. Jay Todd, Ottawa, Ontario. Parents didn't have to travel far, looking to center to Abigail Malotny. Malotny, another Ottawa, Ontario native.
There's a nice little flip pass there by Boyer.
Thibault looking across ice to Big Sear. She had the chance to open this game up, as that one's lofted into the rafters. Olivia Hale, the captain for the Concordia Stingers, picks it up, moves it on to Boyer, and receives the return pass. Harkness. Ooh, Harkness turns it over. Here's Chloe Gendreau. 16:51 and a shot. That one blazes wide. Beatrice Bilodeau, one of two rookies this year, gets on her horse. Turns it over, though. Reese Meffam, the other rookie on this GG's team, comes back into sport. It comes out to Harkness. Harkness through the legs of Bilodeau. It's up to Hale. Hale leaves it for Gendreau, but it's picked off. Catherine Birkby, the Ontario native, a backhander, and it's sent on to the goal.
And a little bit of a shoving match there between Birkby and Lavoie. Birkby was just trying to finish that up.
Just saw a quick shot of Alexa Gibson on the bench, the Toronto, Ontario native, the third string goalie for the University of Ottawa. She's made one start so far in her GG's career. 5-4 record for the backup goalie. Remains a perfect 5-4 win against the McGill Martlets. Here's Lalonde looking. It was for Biesenthal, who was lurking in the middle of the ice. It found its way to Sims. Back to Taylor Sims. Sims has Prue. She goes back to Kylie Lalonde. Angelique Prue, a shot that never made it through. It hit Yell on its way. Marquin Joubert with a step. Prue brings the body.
Yeah,
it's returned in kind. Marquin Joubert trying to twist and turn. It's poked only as far as Stathis. It's Leonie Philbert back down to Stathis. Boulanger. Centering pass. Stathis had her stick taken away. A shot, and it's saved by Aurélie Dubuc.
And that was a great opportunity there for Concordia as they had Boulanger, who was right there in the slot, and Sims did a great job making sure that she not only covered, but she picked up that stick, so there was no opportunity for a shot on net by Boulanger on Dubuc.
Every time Sophie Garros has been back onto the ice, as she's been playing on the top line tonight. Speaks to her outstanding play over the past couple of weeks. Her parents, just down to our right, lift up those signs. It's centering Emmy Fecteau. Wow, what a shot, and the GGs are down by 1. Nothing Aurélie Dubuc could have done there.
No, that was an absolutely beautiful play, and it really started off with Big Sear, who got up the loose puck, took it behind the net, and Fecteau, we mentioned how dangerous of a player she is, right all alone in the slot, and she didn't even catch it and release it. She just got an absolutely beauty one-timer off that puck, and it went right above Dubuc. You really can't blame her at all for that one.
Fecteau's 13th, assisted by 13. And the GGs find themselves in a hole they don't want to be in. Gendreau. She lost the angle, and it's moved back up to Harkness. Harkness has Malotny. Abigail Malotny in on the breakaway, and nice save there by Philbert.
Great stop there by Philbert. Big stop, but great pass by Harkness to hit it on up to Malotny, who snuck in behind both Concordia defensemen.
Would have been the NCAA connection. Harkness. That one, blocker to side easily by Philbert. Would have been Sims from Harkness and Malotny, the first time those three would have connected this season. But it's a good fight back from the GGs. That one sent in, they'll say no icing on the deflection. Lavoie in for it. Emilie Lavoie. Lavoie circling to the center of the ice. It's shot on goal and frozen by Dubuc.
You know, a couple of good chances at both ends. GGs have to just keep peppering Philbert with shots, maybe get some traffic in front. And something they need to do a little bit better is not allowing Concordia to have that much time and space in their zone. That was a good example we just saw there from Lavoie, was able to basically take the whole scenic route around with no pressure from any GG's player.
Good battle there from Alyssa Biesenthal. Couldn't get it into the zone, though. Bureau Gagnon just elects to go back to Olivia Hale. Hale cross ice, touched forward, looking for Yell. Meffam off the bench picks it up. And offside is the call. Seen a lot of this top line so far for the University of Ottawa as Sovigaro comes out with Lalonde and Alex Clavel. Reese Meffam picks it up and goes for a skate. Courtney Rice strips her of that. Back with Kathleen Reedman. Reedman up to Lalonde. Lalonde trying to touch it on for Garot. She's in a foot race with Richard. Sophie Garot brings the body out. Can't strip Richard of it. Clavel, nice little eye. Meffam, a long shot looking for a deflection. It took a couple and wandered its way into the corner. Courtney Rice picks it back up. GG's defensemen were changing. Rice takes the zone and closed off quickly by Reedman.
Good job by Lalonde there to fight off Fecteau, even though she couldn't get it out.
Big and Sierra shot that lops up into the meshing and out. His top line has been buzzing. Pardon the pun.
And that play made it really difficult for Lalonde. You know, the GG defenseman, I believe it was Sims, actually had more time than she thought she did, and she just wrung it around. That's a very difficult play for your forward to pick up, and she had pressure from Fecteau. So, you know, GGs have to take a little bit more patience and realize the time that they have.
Malotny, hot off the start, is able to get the puck out of the zone, but not able to connect with Todd. Emmy Fecteau, that one a long shot on into the corner for Thibault. Thibault, the other assist there on the first goal. Back with Harkness. Harkness, Lalonde, and Harkness, Malotny, and Jay Todd. Here's Jay Todd trying to put the moves on. And back come the Stingers. Big Anseer has a step on McDonald. Big Anseer drops it for Thibault. Couldn't connect with her teammate. Malotny, cross ice pass to Jay Todd. Malotny heads off for a change. Jamie McDonald steps up. Todd in all alone. Will keep this one alive.
Good job by Jamie McDonald to keep on that forecheck there, waiting for her teammates to come and help.
Chloe Gendreau able to stick handle out of a foam booth. And then it was Drapeau who took a bump and couldn't put the moves on. Back the other way. Alyssa Biesenthal. Biesenthal to the backhand. Biesenthal goal!
Wow.
Alyssa Biesenthal with the worldie.
Wow. I don't even think I have words right now for how beautiful that was. And it started off really on the defensive side of things. Biesenthal comes back. She picks up that loose puck, and she gets the motor going, gets her feet going, and I think she dangled through pretty well the entire Concordia Stingers on there, and then finishes off with an absolutely phenomenal backhand in the top corner above Philbert. Wow, I got goosebumps after that one.
Welcome to the new RSCQ primetime show.
Woo.
The pilot was Friday night. Tonight, the second episode of the Alyssa Biesenthal Show.
Hey, we were saying that she was going to have a big game after that performance on Friday night, that hat trick that she had, and wow, has she delivered already to tie up her team with the Concordia Stingers 1-1 here this afternoon.
Alyssa Biesenthal stands up and blocks that one, and here's Kate McLean. Battling through a crowd, she'll draw a penalty.
Whew.
Biesenthal, her 11th of the season. Ariane Gagnon, her 4th assist. And the GGs tie it up.
And not only that, now they go on a power play opportunity, as it was Leonie Philbert who ended up taking, I believe it was a hooking call on that opportunity. And wow, what a turn of events here. I think I still have goosebumps from watching that. Like, I want to see a replay. That was beautiful.
Alyssa Biesenthal back on the ice. She's out there with
Hey, that's who you want out
Bilodeau
there.
and Clavel.
Whew.
GG's hold the zone for only momentarily. And here's Emmy Fecteau. Back the other way, shorthanded. Emmy Fecteau, a shot, a save there by Dubuc.
Great stop by Dubuc, and a great effort there by Riemann to come on back and just even give a little bit of a tap there on Fecteau without taking a penalty, but you know, a little bit of distraction.
Scintillating this game
Whew.
has been through. About 9 minutes here. Both teams have come to play tonight. That one just out of the reach of Minville, but Bilodeau able to get back on it. Chloe Gendreau will go for a skate. Gendreau twists and turns, is able to get to Richard. Richard closed down quickly. Clavel back on it, trying to establish the zone. Angelique Prue picks it up. Prue to Todd. Todd has Malotny. Elects to go back to Prue. Prue and Todd switch spots. Down low to Malotny. Abigail Malotny, watched by Chloe Gendreau. Malotny, a shot on that one, just wide. Harkness off the bench, picks it up, trying to cut to the middle of the ice. Puck poked off her stick, and be careful not to get caught with too many. Smart play there by, it was Sophie Garrow off the bench not to touch it up. 47 seconds to go in the GG's power play. They're operating at 14.5% this season.
You know, and a little bit of a clunky power play here, but you know, that happens sometimes as well when you almost have too much momentum. You have to slow it down, calm down, and be careful with the puck.
And it really all started with the bouncing puck that goes over Kathleen Reedman's stick and clears the zone as that one up. Nice little saucer pass crossed ice.
Good job
poked
by
in
Harkness.
by Harkness.
Yep, to just poke it in there.
Veillette turns it over. Harkness! Jamie McDonald twisting, turning, moves it back to Kathleen Reedman. McDonald a shot, it's blocked by Drapeau. Malotny. Dubuc letting her team know the power play's expiring. Harkness and Malotny down below the hash marks. Comes out to Boyer. Boyer up to Drapeau. Drapeau sends it to Philbert out of the box. Philbert watched by Reedman. Moves it on. Began Sear in the slot, a shot. Glove down by Dubuc, and we'll get a face off.
And Dubuc has been very steady, and that's helping out the GGs there too. Something that could have been done a little bit differently there. Philbert was all by herself. You have Reedman and her defensive partner. There's no one else there. Put more pressure on them. You know, GGs are giving the Concordia Stingers a lot of time and space. About halfway through here, the first period, and wow, what a first period so far from both teams. They have both, like you said, come to play this afternoon.
Kate McLean can't get the puck out of the zone. Thibault, touch pass, that one just off the stick of Big Sear. Down low, Thibault back on it. Looking for a centering pass, finds Sway Emmy Fecteau, releasing. That one had the sting taken out of it by Ariane Gagnon.
Great play, though, and that's what you need to do. You need to get in lanes. You need to block shots.
Cross ice
Smart play.
pass. Kate McLean is able to battle it into the zone. Birkby takes a bump there by Hale, is able to get the shot off somehow. Thibault will dump that one in. It almost took a favorable bounce there for Courtney Rice.
Yeah, bounced off Reese Meffam there and deflected into that left-hand corner.
Boulanger picks it up. Meffam took a tumble and Stathisson to battle along the boards. Comes back out and Reese Meffam will chase after it again. It's able to get only as far as Leonie Philbert, who will carry it back over the line. Leonie Philbert, a toe drag. Nice kick save there. She didn't get all of it. Leonie Philbert, sister of Alice Philbert. Lavoie, she loses the angle on it. The Stingers making a change. The GG starting to center. Here's Catherine Birkby. Birkby will step up over the line and dump that one down on Philbert. Took a funny bounce. It hit sideways, and Philbert needed to be attentive to it. That worked out perfectly for Birkby.
Yeah, and smart play by Birkby there. I was going to mention how long that 5-woman unit had been on the ice already. They were definitely in dire need of a change.
Biesenthal back out there with their usual wingers in Malotny and Todd. Scramble draw! Nice shot there by Malotny. It was attentive goalkeeping there by Philbert.
You can tell they practiced that one, that face-off.
It's
well
drawn
done.
up. Credit Stephanie McYo. Lavoie trying to connect with Drapeau. Lavoie, gold medal winner herself with the U18s. And here's Biesenthal. Sorry, Malotny. Malotny over the line. She'll dump it past Veillette. Beat her to it. Todd pokes it back to Malotny. Centering pass, looking for Biesenthal. Hit the back of the net. Here's Lavoie. Lavoie's Drapeau ahead of her. Elects to leave it for Drapeau, and then the two maroon shirts will head off for a change. 37 points so far this season for the Concordia Stingers. They're looking to add. Here's Yell. Shot. Meffam was able to take the sting out of most of that one. Bilodeau. Beatrice Bilodeau had her pocket picked by the referee. Jamie McDonald, nice little play to leave it behind the net. Funny bounce off the stanchion. It takes it away from Hale, and she's forced backwards. Connects with Yell. Justina Yell is able to move it up to Moquin-Joubert. Bureau Gagnon, puck poked off her stick. We've talked a lot about that second line for the Concordia Stingers, but that third line also goes to work. It's such a deep program here. It's such a young program here as well that Caroline Wallet and Julie Chu have been able to build. Don't forget Dave Singh on the bench as well.
Well, and that's why they've been so successful too, right? Their whole roster is very deep.
It's that one shot on net, and
great job by Dubuc to stand square there. There were a couple of deflections. She really had to be on her toes and track the puck very well, which she did. Hangs on for a whistle. But just to finish our thought from a little bit just before that, it's such a deep program that every line that they're throwing out there is above average, and that's why they've been so successful.
And you think about the year that Fecteau with a shot. Emmy Fecteau comes in.
And
she comes in, and the
a
year
little
before
bit.
that, they grab Megan Sear. This year, it's a centering shot. That one, Fecteau trying to connect with. This year, they introduced Thibault, and this year, they introduce a player like Chloe Gendreau and the impact that they have as Richard goes back to pick it up. It's just moving strength to strength to strength for this program. A dominant program in the RSCQ. You think back to 1920 when they're ranked #1 for the first time since the first week of the century. And they've gone from strength to strength as Stathis carries it over the line. You really have to credit what Julie Chu has done in the 6 years she's been coach for. Back to the point, Boyer. Long shot through a crowd, and that one's in. Deflected on its way through, and the Stingers reestablish their lead.
And that's a tough one, right? It speaks to the idea that any shot you put on net could end up going in the net. It would be interesting to see where that stick was on the tip. You know, it was Courtney Rice who ended up getting it in front of the net. Makes you wonder if coaching staff is going to, you know, challenge where that stick was and have a conversation, but it doesn't look like it.
No complaints from the GG's coaching staff. The Cambridge, Ontario native picks up her third of the season.
Yep.
And we'll look for that response from the GGs.
Yep, just like last time, right? Again, it's a long game, lots of hockey left to play, and again, can't fault Orly DeBook for that one. You know, GGs have to do a little bit of a better job, though, picking up sticks.
Boyera shot that one. Looking for Chloe Gendreau to tip in. Drapeau, who I believe, who picked up the puck. That one sent on net, and easier there for Orly DeBook, who gets a tap from Chloe Gendreau. The Trois-Rivières native has been sensational in her GG's campaign, her young GG's campaign, only in her third year of eligibility, though obviously with COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of these third years are actually fourth year players. Big Ancir. Lalonde. So Veillette picks up her 10th assist, Boyer picks up her 10th assist, and Courtney Rice, as I mentioned, her third goal of the season. We were talking about it. Any line can strike for the Concordia Stingers. You have the top D pair out there, but the fourth line for the Stingers connects. It's 2-1 in this game. And the GG's looking for an answer.
And that's what makes you successful, too, is that not all the scoring comes from maybe the first or second line. You have your third, you have your fourth that are producing as well. You have your D, and ooh, wow.
Oh, that one rings off the iron.
I was going to say that one rings off the post. Moquin Joubert, and she was able to just walk right in.
Filbera shot that one. Always going wide. Long shot on by Bureau Gagnon. DeBook able to track it through a crowd. Little kerfuffle in front of the net. Stingers have not been afraid to play the body here in this one. Seeing Taylor Sims head back off the ice. One of 12 graduating players. Boulanger steps into it. Courtney Rice back out on the ice after scoring the goal that is the difference. Jamie McDonald puts the brakes on.
Nice couple of evasive moves. I was trying to finish my thought, and then you cut me off, man. But nice couple of evasive moves from Jamie McDonald. First, right off the draw, and then a second time as she was going behind the net to come back the original way she came from.
Here's Abigail Malotny. She's stepped into by Stathis. And the GG's forced backwards once again on the stick of Jamie McDonald. She does what she does so well and put the brakes on. Abigail Malotny with Garo and Todd. Malotny, a long shot from the distance, just looking to keep the puck in the zone. Stathis picks it up.
And that was a key defensive play there by Veillette to put it up to Stathis instead of having it go back to the GG sticks.
We're into the final 3 minutes of the first period. Angelique Prue steps up. She has Birkby ahead of her. Prue elects to go herself and dump this one in. Birkby heads after it. Hale stops up. Able to shift past Birkby, and she hears the clap from the bench. And that one is sent the length of the ice for icing. Alyssa Biesenthal onto the ice now. One scramble draw that finds its way back to Lavoie. Drapeau has Chloe Gendreau. The aerial pass couldn't knock it down. Mepham. Biesenthal able to only disrupt Gendreau momentarily. She moves it on to Lavoie, and Lavoie and Bilodeau exchange a couple of sticks. Hale. Drapeau touches it on to Lavoie. Lavoie's had that one fumble, has had the puck fumble off her stick a couple of times. Here's Drapeau, time space, it fumbles off her stick. Mepham able to wrap her up and then just sends the puck down the ice. That one will go for icing with 1:55 to go in the first period.
And again, that's another good example there. You know, Metham steps up, gets the loose puck, passes it back on to Bilodeau, and Bilodeau has more time than she thinks. Needs to get her head up and just take a look, because that could have been avoided. Could have been a good rushing opportunity for the GGs instead of an icing.
Again, Sierra shot that's easily saved there by Orly DeBook. So taking a look at Alyssa Biesenthal, and let's just take a moment to appreciate that goal one more time. Dangled through.
Still have goosebumps.
Couple bodies, 4 goals on the weekend, 10 goals, 11 goals, I should say, on the year for the Georgetown, Ontario native. It's been a breakout campaign.
And she's had a good amount of ice time so far this game, too, with a couple different line mates. And, you know, it's a good idea by the coaching staff. You have a player who's producing. You have a player who's hot. Keep putting her on.
Here's Drapeau at Fecteau. Fecteau is Thibault at the back post. Great slide there.
Wow.
It was Jamie McDonald. She's having a sensational game.
No, and a great decision by her defensively, too, because she didn't go over to that player who was going for the puck. She didn't stay really with the one in front either. She did have help from Lalonde coming back, which she recognized, and she stayed in the middle and then went down exactly at the right time to block that pass. Whew, phenomenal defensive play.
She has had the instant impact that I think Chelsea Girls has wanted on the back end. We witnessed it when they were gone. GG's gave up more goals than they were expecting to give up in her absence with a broken finger. So that one's moved up to Yell. Yell, a backhander up to Moquin-Joubert. She's shown the boards there by Reese Metham. Taylor Sims spins, able to get it to Metham. Metham rings it off the boards. Can't get it past Boyer, who went to one knee.
Yep, good job by Boyer keeping it in. And it is a hand pass. As a result, it'll come out of the zone.
We're just out of our screen watching Michaela Krasinski head back to the locker room. We hope it's nothing serious. She's walking down there with a trainer, so hopefully all is okay with her. Drapeau, a shot into that one. She blazed it over the bar. Another shot. That one rings off the post and behind the net. Oh, backdoor Drapeau. How did she miss that?
And that was wide open. Wow. It's a missed assignment there from the GG's defense for sure.
I think we'll be seeing a little bit more of Olivianne Devin. Devin, a player who can play offense and defense. She's been listed as a forward as that one's moved over. Back to Drapeau, and she couldn't connect with it. The GG's weathering the storm. Into the final 5 seconds here. Taylor Sims will step up and just watch the clock tick down. Just to finish my thought, I imagine we'll see a little bit more of Olivianne Devin in this game as it continues. Devin can play forward, can play a little bit of defense.
Very versatile player for sure.
And with the possibility of Michaela Krasinski missing some time in this one, she'd be a perfect fit. We'll be back in about 1 minute time to wrap up the second period, to wrap up the first period of action here for Brianna Newell and Declan Barp. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into the Minto Sports Complex. Declan DeBarp, Brianna Newell to wrap up a scintillating period of hockey here. Before we go on to the goals, what a period both teams came to play. The opportunity started right away, and the Stingers capitalized right away.
Yeah, there were opportunities on both ends. You could feel that the GGs did have a lot of momentum, but like we mentioned a little bit during the first period as well, it's almost like there was too much momentum, too many emotions, and they needed to calm down, and that's where Concordia actually capitalized on their first opportunity of the game. And what a beautiful opportunity. It was a bit of a battle that was lost by the GGs. Defensive coverage was not really taken on the defensive side of the puck, and that's how I believe it was Bega and Sear who ended up with the loose puck, was going towards the back of the net, and who does she find in front, in the slot? None other than the most dangerous player on Concordia, Ambri-Piotta. And Emmy wasted absolutely no time with the puck. She didn't even catch and then release. It was an absolutely beautiful shot off, a one-timer way above Orly Dubuc, who had come out and got down to be able to try and stop that shot. I mean, you can't blame Orly Dubuc on that one. That is a missed assignment in terms of defensive coverage from your 5 players in front of you, realistically.
It was an absolute rocket, and we've talked about blown coverage throughout this season. You think back to the chance in the dying embers. Somehow, Drapeau is able to sneak to the back door. Lucky she misses that, but the defensemen for the University of Ottawa just need to man up.
And it's not just the defenseman either, right? Like, you're playing 5 players on the ice in front of your goaltender. On the weak side, it's a conversation, a communication between that weak side winger who's kind of going towards the point as well as the back door to help out with that coverage. So whether it's the defenseman who's there because that's your player, or if there's 2 players in front, so there's one in the slot, one back door, you have to communicate between defense and that weak side forward who's taking who. And it's like that wasn't done. And you know what? GGs should thank their lucky stars that Drapeau fanned on that shot, because otherwise it's going in.
The GGs should thank their lucky stars. For a moment of brilliance from Alyssa Biesenthal. If you missed it, I urge you, it's already up on the GGs socials. Go back, take a look at it. Sensational. She continues her excellent play. How important has she been? Not only, we'll talk about the goal, but for the GGs this season, her 11th of the season.
I mean, overall, she's been a phenomenal player, and she just keeps getting better. She just keeps giving more. I can't even wait to see what she continues to do in her future here. And, whether it's draws, whether it's forechecking, whether it's back-checking, passes, I mean, she's an all-around player, and that's what you're looking for. She doesn't just score, she does everything else too, and then scores on top of that. I mean, if you're Coach Grills, that's what you want.
Deadly player, and really do go look at that goal. It's a solo effort that she finishes with a nice little backhander, after a toe drag. It's gorgeous.
And it really started off on the defense, right? That's how those beautiful plays happen. She did a good back check, making sure she was back. And again, that's that all-around piece that we're talking about. Picks up the loose puck, gets the motor on. She was flying down the ice. No one could catch her. You tie in like the good hands with that as well. And then to finish off, a toe drag on the Concordia Stinger D over to her backhand, and one of the nastiest goals I think I've ever seen. Absolutely beautiful, phenomenal play, so much emotion. I had goosebumps. I think you had goosebumps too. If you haven't looked at it, one of the nastiest goals. Absolutely phenomenal.
The GGs find themselves down by 1 though. The tip from Courtney Rice. What do they have to do in the second period to get back into this one?
We kind of alluded to it, earlier on as we were talking about defensive zone coverage. Right now, Concordia really looks like they kind of have the run of the place. GGs need to tighten up in terms of their gap, which they started to a little bit, but in their own zone. I mean, there was an example, I think it was Boulanger, who had gone for a scenic route, or it was Lavoie actually, who had gone for a scenic route around the GG zone, and no one's even near her, no one's touching her. You saw that Concordia is a very physical team. They're not scared to use their body. They have a couple larger players on the team, but you know what? So do the GGs. So GGs have to put the body on a little bit more. They have to tighten up in the defensive zone. They can't give them that much room to play around, because that's where someone like an Emmy Fecteau ends up lost in the crowd, and that's someone that you can't have be lost in the crowd. You have to keep tabs on them. So give them so much respect that you give them no space. That's what the GGs need to do for the second period.
The best second period team will come out in about 15 minutes time, when we'll be back to wrap up to take on the second period. For Declan DeBarp and Brianna Newell, don't go anywhere. Welcome back into the Minto Sports Complex. Declan DeBarb and Brianna Newell ahead of second period action here. The GGs trail by 1 to the Concordia Stingers. The Stingers, the number 1 team in the RSEQ. The GGs doggedly chasing the Montreal Carabins. Should be a good period ahead. If you missed the first one, goals by Emmy Fecteau and Courtney Rice for Concordia. Alyssa Biesenthal sandwiches the two of them to bring us to a score of 2-1.
You know, and lots of hockey to play here. So this afternoon we've only played one, and if if we can expect anything, I think we can expect a really great second period of hockey ahead of us here for sure.
And the GGs still 2 games of this season remaining. They have their final home game right here on Wednesday against the Bishop's University Gators. That's the difference in the number of games they played to everyone else's. That one, a scramble at the side of the net. Good individual effort there by Sophie Gatto. And if you were watching to the end of the period, you would have seen those signs that we were talking about. Here's Jade Todd. Todd taken down. The arms stay down.
Oh, nice try, though, there by Olivia Devine in front as Todd was taken down, and Gigi's bench wanted a call. Did not get one.
Still no sign of Michaela Krasinski. Here's Fecteau. Fecteau over the line, and Thibault was in offside.
I think it was caused by that little bit of a poke and step there by Reedman. Good job by her there.
Face off outside the zone. Vicky Harkness in the draw. It's won by Lavoie pretty cleanly. Philbert moves it up to Gendreau as a hard shot is ripped on. It's kicked aside there by Aurélie Dubuc. Gendreau back on it. Download to Drapeau. Lavoie! That one over the nets. Clavel misplays it. And Vicky Harkness heads after it. Vicky Harkness closed down by Richard. Harkness still on it. Can't connect with Clavel. Angelique Prue. Prue shifting. That one shot on. Saved there by Philbert. Ooh, Clavel lofts that one, and it's off the mesh, and we'll have a face-off.
Right idea, though, by Clavel to just step up there. Just got it a little bit too high and sideways into the netting.
Alyssa Biesenthal steps in for the draw. She'll lose it there to Yell. It's off back to the Stingers captain. Yell gloves it down. Yell, Justine Yell, that one just wide. McIntyre picks it up. Haven't said her name too much.
This game.
Here's Kate McLean. McLean looking to connect with Biesenthal. Centering pass. Ooh. Hefty collision, a shot on. That one blocked by Bureau Gagnon. Philbert was still down.
Yeah, and I was going to say a really key block there by Bureau Gagnon as Philbert was still on the ice as Ariane Gagnon was pushed into her from the play before.
Gagnon picks it up. Shoved in by Justina Yell.
Good job to help out and support there by McLean.
Justina Yell back on it. Looking to center it. Looking to send it to Bureau Gagnon.
Good job by Dubuc coming out.
Attentive keeping. Notice she had no one back and was going to be beat. Boyer. Veillette. Can't get a handle on it. Stretch pass to Stathis. Stathis on the backhand and saved by Dubuc.
Yeah, and it was Stathis actually who had snuck in there behind Gigi's defenseman, Taylor Sims. And so Mepham ended up playing the one-on-one there, which is fine.
Vicky Harkness against the top line for the Concordia Stingers. Harkness has been out there very frequently against the Emmy Fecteau line. Turned over. Jay Todd has a step, but
just couldn't get a handle on it. But had she had a handle, wow, she would have been gone. Nice little couple of passes there.
And kids, if you're a winger, that's exactly what you got to do. Explode to your opposite defender. Malotny. Malotny has Todd making a skate ahead of her. Malotny up to Reedman. Reedman over the line. Kathleen Reedman looking at Malotny. Malotny can't send it goalwards.
Right idea there, though. And
They
good
had
job by
twisting
Reedman.
and turning.
Good job by
Turns it over.
Good job by Reedman jumping up the play there, making that play possible.
Oh, big hit. Fecteau threw the body into Jade Todd.
And that's something that, we talked about before, how Concordia is not afraid to lay the body on their opponents. And GGs have to answer there. They've also been able to play a physical game before, so it needs to make an appearance here.
Todd touches it over the line. She was well before the red line, so that'll go down the ice for icing.
You have a couple tired legs out there, namely Todd and Malani have been out there for a while. Important draw here.
Philbert set up right in the middle and a crucial win there from Sophie Gatto.
Yeah, she's been quite dominant on the draws, especially this afternoon today.
Malotny can't get it to Gatto. It's Drapeau with a step, trying to cut to the middle of the ice. It was great body positioning there from Angelique Pruda. Disrupt that. Abigail Malotny and Taylor Sims. Taylor Sims goes right to the net, and a shot on by Abigail Malotny is frozen up by Elise Philbert. Gets a tap there from her sister. GGs will get a much-needed change.
Yeah, much-needed change, and again, you have a face-off here in the offensive zone. You have Biesenthal taking the draw, so looks like a bit of a setup play here that they're looking to do.
Biesenthal, that was Alex Clavel who stepped into it. Just hacked it over.
Right idea, though. Just had to be a little bit lower.
Biesenthal couldn't drag it with her to the front of the net, but yet puts the brakes on, trying to slide it to Olivia Hale.
And it was a good job by Hale to break up that play from Biesenthal to the front of the net.
Reedman over the line.
Good job by Reedman. Just put it right back in the Concordia zone.
Kylie Lalonde chased after it, the Arm Prior Ontario native. It's turned over, and Kylie Lalonde was still in the corner. Moquin Joubert, she has Bureau Gagnon with her. Moquin Joubert puts the brakes on. Back to Bureau Gagnon, a twisting shot heads up into the rafters.
And good stick there by Prue, making sure no shot went on her goaltender Dubuc. It went into the netting instead.
Just looking at the Capasac native and Alex Clavel. Alex Clavel, the two-time winner of the Melissa Kingsley Scholarship, to have a long history together. So that one's sent forward. Here's Catherine Birkby. Birkby staring down Boyer. Birkby makes a move to the outside. Birkby couldn't get back in front. And one out of the reach of Yell. Yell back on it, Courtney Rice rather. She's pinned by Jamie McDonald and sent over the line.
Good job by Bilodeau for checking Boyer.
Staying dogged on it.
And that's what Bilodeau is known for.
Harkness, that one she dragged wide under the body check there of Zoe T. Bowen back on defense. Reese Meffam. Taylor Sims with a step. She'll get over the line and dump that one in. Philbert settles it down and sends it right where it came from.
Good job by Todd to pinch up there.
Sent back the length of the ice. Big Ann Sear got on her horse, and Reese Meffam just had enough. Gassed at the end of a shift.
And good opportunity here. Concordia players have been out here for a little bit at tired legs, and you have a strong line out here to take the draw, and Sophie Garrow taking the draw has been very dominant this afternoon.
Emmy Fectono slouch herself, and she steps in and wins it. Gatto gets right after it, and Emmy Fecteau on it. She'll just lift it to center, looking to get a change in. Only Courtney Rice will peel off. Back to Jade Todd. Todd has Garreau in the middle. She finds Gatto, and it bobbled off her stick. Abigail Malotny had pinched in behind at the back door and was all alone. Jamie McDonald staying with Emmy Fecteau. Fecteau, good strength.
And good
she'll
back
draw.
check there.
The GG's going to head to the penalty. Emmy Fecteau frustrated. GG's off to the power play. Fecteau will get a holding call, and the GG's power play goes back to the work for the second time tonight.
And it was a great back check there by Jamie McDonald. She didn't give up. She kept her feet moving, and that's what ended up drawing the call on Emmy Fecteau. And, You know, want to mention as well the really great back check effort by Sophie Garrow coming back and picking up the player and ultimately breaking up that play that was going cross ice. So all around, everyone is coming to play today. Everyone is doing their jobs, and that's what you like to see.
Statistically, the GG's the best second period team in the division. Looking to add. 0 for 1 last night, and that one poked off. The pass picked off. Lavoie. Oh, a toe drag that just doesn't come off. She has Chloe Gendreau in support. Gendreau trying to find Lavoie, and that one just sent wide. The second line, 2 members of the second line going to work. The top penalty kill unit. Stingers so dangerous. Hale forward to Drapeau off the bench. Lavoie twisting and turning, just trying to kill as much time as she can. Opportunity for the GGs to head in the right direction, but Reedman sends it only as far as the stick of Drapeau. Reedman. Calm by Veillette, but not on the same page as Boyer. Biesenthal, Meffam passes to Harkness. Harkness to Prue. Angelique Prue thought about a shot. She'll attempt one, and it's blocked there. It was Drapeau who stood tall. Malotny down low. Harkness, couldn't connect with Prue.
Right idea, though. Good job by Prue sneaking down there. Ooh.
Here's Drapeau the other way. Drapeau, Malotny follows her back, and it was a good hustle there by Malotny.
Crucial back check there by Malotny, cutting off Drapeau.
Drapeau rings it around to Beganzier.
Good job by Meffam taking the body.
Oh, a huge collision there. The arms stay down. Beganzier. GG's power play looks listless. It's up to Sophie Garrow. Garrow starts the other way with 4 seconds to go.
Good job by Sophie Garrow delaying until she has help from her teammates.
She's trying to buy some time. She moves the puck on. McDonald, a saucer pass. Oh, what a save by Elise Philbert. The saucer pass found Gagnon, and a strong push prevented that one from finding Twine.
Yeah, good save there by Philbert, and Gagnon just waited a little bit too long to get the shot off. We saw Jamie McDonald completely tripped here. Looks like the officials have decided to not call any more penalties on Concordia, is what it seems like. We also saw a huge hit on Abby Malotny down in the defensive zone, and still the arms stay down. So
Burkby. Poor puck management. Bureau Gagnon trying to connect with Yell. Couldn't do. Veillette back to Bureau Gagnon. Bureau Gagnon trying to shift past Sims. She has Yell sneaking in. Cross ice pass. Veillette. The book stands tall, and that one just wide. Yelled was all alone.
And we saw something very similar the first period too, where Drapeau was all by herself backdoor too.
Marquin Joubert trying to cut to the center of the ice. Taylor Sims took Bureau Gagnon.
Very tired
Marquin
unit
Joubert
here.
and Aurélie Dubuc will freeze this one up.
And smart play there by Aurélie Dubuc, as she could see as well her teammates were completely exhausted, had no gas left in the tank. Smart play to just cover it up, get a whistle, and allow them the opportunity to change.
Top second unit out for the Concordia Stingers with a little bit of a line change. Thibault on in the place of Lavoie as Clavel carries it over the line, and that one deflected into the netting. Little souvenir for the two dads standing down there, and if I've ever seen a dad spot to watch a hockey game, I don't know what is. Right in the corner, away from the rest of the group.
Hey, they're focused. It's their game faces.
Here's Chloe Gendreau. Gendreau's McIntyre going to the net. She couldn't find McIntyre. Good back check there from Jay Todd.
And a good play there by Jamie McDonald. Again, she's been phenomenal on the defensive plays.
Malotny all by herself. Malotny, the backhand, she hit the post.
Wow.
Abigail Malotny, and the net comes off.
You know, and she was fighting off about 3 Concordia Stingers, 1 back checker and the 2 defensemen, and still managed to make it through. She gets a tap on the back there from Reese Meffam, and you know, great stop there by Philbert, and a little bit of help from the post, I think, too.
That the second breakaway for Abigail Malotny here tonight. She can't find the back of the net. She is.
Hey, we'll see about the 3rd time. Maybe 3rd time will be her charm.
Chasing down Veillette for the league lead in goals. That Adriana's. That one Taylor Sims steps into. It's blocked there by Began Sear. Began Sear takes a hack at it, can't clear the zone.
Great block, but great second effort there by Sims as well to keep it in the zone, if only for a little bit.
One thing we forgot to mention, Abigail Malotny with the goal last weekend moved to the 4th all-time single-season point-scoring record at the University of Ottawa. Malotny trying to find Lalonde in front, couldn't connect with her. Sorry, that was Biesenthal. Began Sear.
Good job by Sims there as she got a nice slash from Emmy Fecteau.
A good second baseman play. You don't let the ball pass.
Exactly. Body in front.
And here's Began Sear. Began Sear is a step on Meffam. Began Sear, a weak shot that's easily collected by Orly DeBook. It spills out and the play continues. Sandrine Veillette dumps that one in. Time flying in the second. 8:45. Boulanger. Clavel up and over. That one just has the legs racing.
You know, we talked about puck management a little bit, and, you know, we saw in the first period as well, and this was a good example of the same thing where, you know, make the simple plays, make the passes that are going to be easy for your teammates to handle. The pass that was from Meffam from behind the net up to Clavel here was not the right kind of pass. It was bobbling, and then she got pressure from Veillette on the top here, and now you're stuck in your own zone. So it's just that puck management aspect and making it easy for your teammates.
Drapeau sends it down low to Chloe Gendreau. She's pinned in by Taylor Sims. It comes out to Drapeau. Jessimao Drapeau still working out. Lavoie. Drapeau, that one. A little too fine. Chloe Gendreau. Drapeau. Jessimao Drapeau. Leaves it for Sandrine Veillette. Veillette can step into it, and that one deflected on its way through. Kylie Lalonde, a chance to break back the other way, but a pass across the center of the ice holds the GGs in, and the Stingers get a wholesale change. Centering, Lalonde is able to get a stick on it, and she's on it now. Kylie Lalonde, shot that never made it through.
And she will definitely go after offer a change. She was exhausted legs, as you have a new group on here led by Sophie Garra on the forecheck.
It's in the feet of McIntyre. Bilodeau, a nice little pass to herself. Trying to send it. Oh, what a move there by Birkby. She put the stick between her legs.
I don't know if it was intentional, but either way, well done.
Puck poked on to Philbert. She couldn't freeze it, and the play stays alive.
Yeah, and good job by Reedman putting it back into the Concordia zone there.
Sent only as far as Angelique Prue, as it was a little too much on it for Bureau Gagnon. So Figaro can't corral it, but Jade Todd will head after it. Icing waved off. Hale gets there before Garreau. And Thibault is able to get it out to center. Bilodeau moves back for the University of Ottawa. Jade Todd, you could hear her from up here. She wanted that puck.
She really did. Hey, good communication, though.
Leonie Philbert, she had 2 goals the first time the Stingers came here this year. Harkness and Malotny out there together. Fecteau cross ice to Thibault. Fecteau continues to the net. And calm there by Harkness. Todd trying to stretch it. And then steps into Big Ann Sear.
Attaboy, Todd. That's what you want to see, the physicality coming from the GGs.
Harkness, Vicky Harkness drags and fires too high.
But what
Vicky
a great
Harkness,
move.
what a move.
And good patience with the
Very
puck as
high
well.
skill play there by Vicky Harkness.
Great cross ice pass.
Malotny. Biesenthal on the backhand, a little too fine.
Thought she was going to have another one. Her backhand's been treating her very well.
Emi Fecteau is still out there at the end of a long shift. Just pins the boards. Biesenthal had it lost in her skates as Fecteau just heads up to center, dumps it in. She was over the line, and they'll be stuck out there. Emi Fecteau, you could hear the smack on the boards in frustration. A very tired unit out there.
And you can see that Coach Caroline Ouellet is not happy with that call at all by the official.
This is a crucial face-off. Alyssa Biesenthal tasked with winning it. Biesenthal wins it. Clavel, a blocker save by Elise Filbert.
Wow. Yeah, great stop there by Elise Filbert, and you know, what a great shot off there by Clavel, which all started with well-won draw by Biesenthal.
Couldn't have drawn it up better if Stephanie McYo had tried. Comes out. GG's just wanting to keep this cycle alive.
I'm definitely wanting to take advantage of the tired legs that are out there. Keeping the Stingers hemmed in their zone is what the GGs want.
And just keeping that puck movement with the GG, keeping that puck going as a heroic effort there by Lalonde. It's shot on it. Deflected into the corner. Angelique Prue steps up. She's checked there by Rice. She'll spin off Rice and then filled in by Filbert. Moves again. Courtney Rice closed down quickly.
Great job by
Kylie Lalonde is having a super shift.
And they will not be able to change again due to icing.
Kylie Lalonde, what a shift.
And again, the GGs will put a fresh unit out there to see if they can take advantage of the extremely tired Stingers unit that's out there. And you can hear the Stingers on the bench, you know, trying to encourage their teammates, tapping the boards. I mean, it's a tough gig out there. That's where the mental aspect of the game really comes in.
Fully under siege are the Concordia Stingers. And the GGs were quick to move this puck back down the ice. The faceoff's lost, but slow. Birkby looking to center it.
You know, and Concordia has to be careful, right? This is where the penalties come in because you're so mentally exhausted. So they have to be careful of that.
Leonie Filbert. Stretch pass. Emi Fecteau makes no mistake this time. Dumps it into her own bench. Just wanted the play over with.
I think she was at her breaking point. She's like, I just need to get this puck on. I need to get off. I don't blame her. I don't even know how long that shift was, but it was definitely a couple minutes there. Wish we had a stopwatch to have timed that.
It was great work by the GGs.
Yeah, 100%. Like keeping the pressure on, you know, pinching down to make sure that they weren't allowing the Stingers out of their zone. Well done.
Once again, that scramble draw push we've seen a couple of times. It must be draw and play where Jade Todd just blows by her winger. Reedman overplays it. Lavoie to Gendreau. Gendreau back to Lavoie, and Lavoie misses the net. It was beautiful puck movement there from the Concordia Stingers. High skill play from high skill players.
And they have their heads up, right? And that's why they're able to make those plays because they see the ice. They're not looking down at the puck. Good draw one there by Lavoie.
Both players in their second year, Chloe Gendreau and Lavoie. So I think that partnership will continue to build. Here's Jade Todd. Todd on the backhand. She was the one who set up the goal with Ariane Minville, who doesn't play today. She continues to miss through injury.
What I'd like to see from the GGs a little bit too, you know, every rush so far that we've seen is going down around the outside and trying to center it across, and that's not working. You know, that was a prime example there where Jade Todd had a trailer in Vicky Harkness, and she also had a teammate going hard towards the net and driving. I'd like to see them utilize that. I'd like to see them utilize that trailer and see if it's a little bit more successful for them on the rush.
GG's bring the pressure once again. This one able to roll down the ice. Angelique Prue head up, feels the pressure of Moquin Joubert.
And that would have been a good opportunity there as Prue was, you know, taking the Stinger forechecker with her. Sims would have been wide open for a reverse play and could have broken out the other side of the zone.
Here's Ariane Gagnon. Gagnon, the assist on the Alyssa Biesenthal goal. Biesenthal back on it. On the backhand, Biesenthal, nice patience. Taylor Sims, a bobbling puck she never got all of.
I just want to point out, too, that on that rush, McLean did a really good job of making sure she stayed onside for that play. I almost thought she was going to pull a groin or something by how far she stretched her leg out.
Kate McLean has been sensational in the Garnet
Great
and Gray.
job there by Mepham.
So Figaro, a shot. That one gloved there by Elise Filbert. The past 10 or so minutes have been all GG's.
No, GG's have definitely been putting the pressure on, and you know it's gonna come. That's usually Murphy's Law, right? Try it a bunch of times, and eventually you'll be successful there. But you know, not to discredit the work of Filbert, who's in net, who's been playing very well.
We've talked about it the past few weeks, and have talked about it for years. The RSEQ, the home of the goalie, is Sophie Figaro picks it back up and lost it in her feet. Reese Mepham. It's up in the midsection of Sophie Figaro. Great play to move it to Clavel. Odd man rush. Alex Clavel picks the corner. Picks the crossbar.
I wish we could have gone upstairs on that one, because I don't know. That was a bomb of a shot, and it definitely beat Filbert there.
It beat Filbert. The question is, did it beat the
goal
post?
bar? Yeah, does it beat the crossbar?
What a shot that was by Alex Clavel. Angelique Prue still in offside as GG slow to change.
Wow, that was a beauty of a shot.
Emmy Fecteau dumps that one in, and picked up by Jamie McDonald. Cross ice pass. Catherine Birkby with a step. We're into the final minute here. Birkby puts the brakes on. Can't find a teammate. But it's
Good
turned
job
over.
by Sims.
Sims steps up. Centering pass, and it's deflected to a dangerous area, but no one home. Birkby can't hold the line.
Good job by Sims making sure she gets back for that puck.
Nice slide pass there to Harkness by Reese Mepham.
Ooh, good evasive movements there by Filbert on the back end.
Excellent on her edges. Back the other way, Taylor Sims. Chloe Chandra, what a save, Aurélie Dubuc.
Great job by Aurélie Dubuc, as yeah, there was no one back there to help out, and Gendro had that opportunity.
Whew. It was a play that really developed out of nothing. The GGs just got caught.
Yeah, they got caught flat-footed for sure.
Oh.
Ooh.
Take down there by Reese Mepham. Leonie Filbert, who slammed. The arms stay down. 4 minutes, 4 seconds to go in this period. The GGs will look to work something off the draw.
Yeah, I was going to say just enough time to get a shot off the draw. And you can see them huddling around there to decide what they're going to do.
Right in the middle of it, Abigail Malotny. You'd imagine she'll be the one they're aiming for. They're going to take all the time, and Chelsea Grills, I think, employing some of the dark arts, having a word with the official to give her team a little bit more time.
And you can see that Fecteau was not happy about that, as she's talking to the linesman saying, like, hey, what's going on here? They didn't call a timeout, but as you mentioned, Grills working her magic there,
and that's a nice little shot that we can see here. Emmy Fecteau just in the background as the GG's plot. It all starts with this face-off. Biesenthal tried to direct it on goal. Abigail Malotny couldn't get it. Jamie McDonald pulls down Thibault. The buzzer will go. And that'll be it for the second period of action. The GGs and the Stingers come into the period with a 2-1 difference. The score remains 2-1. We'll be back in about a moment's time to wrap up the second period of action. Welcome back into the Minto Sports Complex. Lechlenabar, Brianna Newell to wrap up the second period of action. The scoreline doesn't change, but plenty of action at either ends. The GGs have asserted themselves down at the end of the second period.
Well, and I think they started to play the body a little bit more. They started to get those transitions going a little bit more. One thing, though, I would like to see them do differently, and I did mention it during the play of the second period, is they've had a lot of rush opportunities where they're not utilizing their trailer. They're constantly trying to do the same move, go to the outside and hit the teammate that's driving towards the net. Problem is that teammate isn't open. Concordia is doing a good job of tracking that player back, but they're not covering the trailer because GGs haven't utilized them. So they're not going to waste a player by covering that person when they know GGs aren't going back to them. So I think if they start leveraging the trailer and activating them, they're going to have a lot more opportunities and potentially some success by doing that. So that's what I'd like to see. But overall, I mean, they got the Stingers hemmed in their zone quite a few times and for quite a bit of time during that second period. So it's unfortunate they didn't score off that, but you know, they keep trying, keep getting shots on net, and you know, you're sure that something might happen from that.
The GGs have come to play today, but so have the Stingers.
Yep,
the
100%.
Stingers looking to establish themselves in this third period. What do they have to do to reestablish what was a game that was largely in their favor in the first period?
I mean, I think they just have to keep playing the way that they've been playing. I mean, even in that period, yes, there were moments where GG's dominated, but at the end of the day, Stingers kept them on their toes too. I'll give you an example of the power play that the GG's had. It didn't really seem like much of a power play because Concordia PK did such a great job closing down, forechecking the GGs in their zone. They weren't even really able to break out very cleanly and for quite some time, and they did get a rush opportunity off that too by catching the GG's defenseman flat-footed. So they've had their opportunities, they've had their time in the zone. I think they just had a few longer shifts where they got stuck, and that kind of took up quite a bit of their time too, where it was able to swing the momentum back in the GG's favor. But I think for Concordia, keep getting those rushes, keep playing with speed. They're making very nice passes and heads-up plays because they have their heads up and they see what's happening, and they're a quick team, and they're taking advantage of that.
And we'll just quickly return to your two players to watch for in this game. Emmy Fecteau, 1 goal. How has she played so far in this one?
I mean, I like the way she plays. She's an aggressive player. She plays with a lot of heart. I think what I am not a huge fan of, to be totally transparent, is the body language, is the slamming of the stick. You know, you're an assistant captain on your team, and that comes with a certain responsibility, a certain aura, a certain platform. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be quite honest, but that doesn't take away from the play that she's been doing this game so far. She's
been sensational. Part of the reason the Stingers currently lead by 1 and could be very many more. Down at the other end, the player in garnet and gray that you've highlighted, Vicky Harkness, has had a couple of chances. What will she need to do in this third period to tie things up and hopefully move it on?
Again, keep doing what she's doing. She's very hard on the forecheck. She does a really good job on the back check. She's been that trailer person quite a few times. So if I were her, I'd be having a conversation with my line mates and saying, hey, look, we've tried it this way by trying to go cross ice. It's not working. We need to try something different, something unpredictable that the Concordia Stingers are not expecting to see. If we're more successful doing that, let's try activating that trailer. Let's have still that person driving towards the net. Let's have maybe a defense jump up in the rush and hit that trailer person. Also, I'd like to see her taking more shots on the net. She has been taking shots, but I want to see more shots from her. She has a really great release. She has a strong shot. She needs to utilize it a little bit more, even if it's for shooting for a pad for a rebound, but getting more shots is what I'd like to see.
There's still 20 minutes to go in this one and a lot of twists in the tail. The GGs and the Stingers will be back in about 15 minutes time to wrap up the third period. For Declan Barb and Brianna Newell, you won't want to miss this one. Welcome back to the third period at the Minto Sports Complex. Talking about Brianna Newell to bring this game on home. GG's and the Stingers required overtime the last time these two teams met, that only a couple of weeks ago. Does this game have overtime in its tail? The Stingers and the GGs couldn't find twine in the second period.
But they found iron quite a few times on both sides.
Think about Abigail Malotny's nice move to the backhand. Stopped partly by the post, partly by Alice Filbert, and then say what you will about the shot by Alex Clavel. So that one's sent all the way back. Boyer will chase after it. Jade Todd picks it up in the high slot, and it's turned over. Here's Thibault. Thibault with Big Ansier. And then an offside. Taking a look at Sophie Garro. She's had a phenomenal game so far. Taylor Sims down at the other end, very calm as well, as this one's won. Puck lopped up. Abigail Malotny. Centering pass, that one loose in the slot. Couldn't be tapped on home. Drapeau trying to connect with Chloe Gendreau. Does momentarily, and then Malotny tries to start back the other way. Abigail Malotny. Abigail Malotny, a long shot through a crowd. Filbert pokes it out. Chloe Gendreau trying to get past Jamie McDonald. She shoves her to the ice. Drops it for Lavoie. Emily Lavoie. Emily Lavoie. Centering pass, couldn't connect with Bureau Gagnon.
And good job by Biesenthal picking up that back door. That's something we mentioned over the last two periods that the GGs need to be better at. So great example there by Biesenthal.
Abigail Malotny trying to connect with Bilodeau, who was streaking off the bench. Back to Hale. Hale and Moquin Joubert was in offside, and that one will go the length of the ice for icing. It's a crucial face-off for the University of Ottawa. Just a reminder of the standings as they are. The GG's currently on 31 points. The Montreal Carabins on 34 points. GG's have a game in hand, so they're one behind. Looks like either way they will be facing the Montreal Carabins in the first round. The question then becomes who gets home ice advantage. Beatrice Bilodeau in the draw. She's tossed from it. Or we'll have a skate around. The referee's not liking something. Beatrice Bilodeau steps in and wins it. Fought back and forth. Olivia Hale puts the edge work on display, and Yell heads after it.
Yep, great evasive move there by Hale as, oh, now we have a penalty. Not quite sure for what or who. I think it's going to end up being...
I believe they're going to grab Yell for the hook.
Yep, couldn't figure out as both Yell and Sims were both kind of skating that way, but it will be Yell from Concordia that ends up going to the box. And again, GG's have another power play opportunity. And this is crucial. I mean, you're down by a goal in your third period. You need a goal on this power play.
Or at least some momentum as Abigail Malotny hits the ice. Stick all up in her feet. The arms stay down, though. Reese Meffam overskates the puck. Sophie Garro is able to fight it down low. Looking cross-ice, that one a forced pass. That one sent goalwards. Abigail Malotny will head after it. Watched by Lavoie the whole way. Malotny dumps it in. Vicky Harkness can't get to it first, but Jamie McDonald off the bench is able to keep it in. Turned over. Abigail Malotny. Malotny just stops up. Minute 20 to go. Malotny's back on it. Abigail Malotny spinning. Second in goals in the RSEQ. Nice little saucer pass. Jamie McDonald, and she'll head off. Clavella shot that one Always going wide. McDonald just taps it down low to Clavel. Back to McDonald. McDonald had Bilodeau, just not on the same page. Beatrice Bilodeau picks it back up. It's spun around. Clavel gets on her horse. Alex Clavel some time. Banks it back to McDonald. McDonald has Reedman. She'll be patient. She's watched by Lavoie. Nice pass down low. Good puck movement. GGs need to pick up the pace. McDonald down low. Biesenthal. Bilodeau had popped out in the bumper. Little scramble. GGs pick it back up. Jamie McDonald. McDonald trying to pass it down low. It's rung around. Boyer will try and chip it past Angelique Biesenthal, and it's shoveled. Here's Chloe Gendreau. Gendreau trying to create a little bit of havoc. Is able to kill the penalty off but not generate a shot on goal.
And good job by Reedman watching the body and not the puck on that one-on-one.
It's behind Kate McLean. She's able to muscle it on goal, and Biesenthal not there quite in time.
Good strength there shown by McLean.
And here goes Thibault back the other way. Puck well ahead of her. The arm's up for icing. It's waved off. Prue able to get it only as far as Emmy Fecteau. To chip forward, a chance for the GGs. They're onside. 4-on-1. Back door, and they can't tap it on home. Kate McLean is cleaned out in the process. Oh, the GGs. How do they mess that up?
I think that's just a question more of there were almost too many options, and a great block there by Hale as she dove across to block that shot through.
Catherine Birkby thrown into the boards. GGs have had their opportunities.
You know, and that's where you have a 4-on-1. You have to make sure that you capitalize on that. You won't get a better opportunity than a 4-on-1, honestly, in a game.
That one just sent goalwards by Big Ann Sear at the end of a very long shift, and she'll head off. GG start back the other way. Kylie Lalonde will just dump that one. No one in particular. Alex Clavel gets there first. Good step by Reedman, is able to hold it, if only momentarily, as Bureau Gagnon looking for Morcan Joubert. Morcan Joubert is closed down quickly. And Jamie McDonald head up. Clavel dumps that one into the zone. Morcan Joubert touched on to Yell. Yell dumps it in. She'll head off for a change. Orly DeBuck out to slow things down.
Good job by Jamie McDonald there, not to just ring around the net, but just to take a moment and use the net as a barrier to see what she wants to do with the puck.
Patience shown by Boyer to give it a moment and let the play develop around her. Centering pass that Stathis can't tap home. She blew right by Abigail Malotny. Vicky Harkness. That one sent on goal. It bounces favorably for Orly DeBuck, and she'll freeze up.
And again, smart play by DeBuck. She's been making them really all game in terms of when to play the puck and when to freeze it. This was a smart play made by her to freeze the puck. She saw her team getting the runaround a little bit in their own zone, gives them an opportunity to just reset, take the draw here.
GG's the only game in the RSEQ going on right now. There's a couple that started at 3 o'clock. The one to watch out for if your heart bleeds garnet and gray is that one sent on by Reese Meffam. As Biesenthal is taken down an awkward tumble with Leonie Philbert. Neither looks worse for wear. Is the game at 3 o'clock between the Montreal Carabanas. That's sent into the middle. Lavoie, chance. Oh. What a save by Orly DeBuck.
2 stops.
I don't know how she kept that one out.
And she looks like she is a little worse for her after that one, a little bit slower to get up, but she seems okay. 2 amazing stops by DeBuck on the initial chance and then on the rebound as well. Game changers there.
It was a beautiful little feed there by Drapeau, Chloe Gendreau, and it was Lavoie who went right to the net. Lavoie the first opportunity, and then the second one, a blocker save. Big Ann Sear trying to buy some time. She's given a shove by Todd. Jade Todd, great muscle play shown.
Great hard work there by Todd for sure. And good job there by Reedman, and just dump it down in deep for Bilodeau to chase.
She gets on her horse. Fantastic hustle. Back to Todd. Jade Todd.
Had 3 stingers on her, still managed to put it down deep for Bilodeau.
That's what you get from Jade Todd. And Birkby was in a cul-de-sac. Here's Thibault. And McDonald turns backwards to forwards. Fecteau has this puck poked off her stick. Back come the GGs, a 3-on-1. Jade Todd, 3-on-2 rather. Todd to Birkby at the back door. It just died on her. So Figaro bursts off the bench.
Great pressure shown there.
Things die down for a moment, but GG's far from out of it. Taylor Sims will dump this one just wide of the net. Caravan playing the Gators. Finish the thought from earlier. That one, it's an awkward one for Philbert. I don't think she saw it. Took a funny deflection off her blocker. Angelique Prue hustles after it. Prue to Sims. Sims to McLean. The GGs have the puck rocking, and that one just out of the reach of Gagnon. Marquin Joubert over to Boyer. It's in the feet of Yell. She's able to get it out to center. Sandrine Veillette smuggles it to Drapeau. Drapeau, nice little move past one. That's Courtney Rice. She is the goal that splits the two teams. Great strength, though. She tried to cut to the middle of the ice.
And lucky play there as it caught the skate of Mepham and prevented Rice from going any further.
Leonie Philbert. Philbert trying to open the angle up for her. Was able to get the shot, but couldn't get much on it.
Good job by Dubuc steering that rebound safely to the corner.
Took a couple of deflections on its way through. We're about the 10-minute mark is Mepham.
Smart play.
Just bounces that one off the boards. The GGs will change. McIntyre goes back.
Good step up there by Jamie McDonald. Great read of the play.
She reads the game so well and is able to disrupt things and get an offensive zone face-off.
And, that's what I would want to see more of, though, from the GGs, especially a defenseman, is just anticipating the play and breaking up the play before it even gets started. So good job there by McDonald.
Beatrice Bilodeau, big face-off on Young's shoulders. She'll half win a scramble draw. Lalonde down low to Bilodeau. Bilodeau trying to get past Lavoie. Lavoie just her out well. Back she comes. Emilie Lavoie has a step on Alex Clavel. She's blown by her.
Good
Looking
stick.
for Chloe Gendreau. And Gendreau repays the favor. Back to Lavoie. Bobbles off her stick. GG's draw a power play there. Lavoie looks right to the ref. Frustration on her face, but...
And I get it, too, right? You're playing, you just finish a rush, you're down in deep, and you're battling, and your stick just gets caught on the skate, and down goes the opponent. But at the end of the day, whether intentional or not, it still is a penalty.
GG send the top unit out there. 0 for 3 so far.
Yeah. And this is where, halfway through the third period, you're down a goal. You need to capitalize on this power play.
And this face-off is ever so important for the success. No one wants the puck as Philbert is able to establish possession and send that one down the ice. Angelique Prue is going to give Fecteau a bump, but Fecteau stays with her. Emmy Fecteau still on it. Trying to center for Began-Cyr. And now it's pinned behind the GG's net. Not where they want it to be. 200 feet from where they want it to be. So Figaro up to Abigail Malotny, and Malotny was caught. Philbert. Hale can't control it. Good body positioning there. The GGs have the zone with 1:20 to go. Jade Tata, long shot through that's no trouble for Alice Philbert.
And yes, you want to get shots, you want to put everything on net, but I find with the GG so far this game with their power play, they haven't really set up, or when they have set up, they haven't let the puck do the work. They've been making it very hard for themselves and making it very easy for the Concordia Stingers PK.
Stingers win the draw. It comes out to Marquin Joubert, and Marquin Joubert sends that one the length of the ice. Not what the GGs want. They have a minute to find something on this power play. Yell follows. It's up to Todd. Todd over the line. Jade Todd. You feel if something's going to happen on the power play, it's going to be on her stick. Alex Clavel to Jade Todd. Todd down low, Biesenthal. Bilodeau pops up from the bumper. Biesenthal, nice cross-ice pass, and that one just wide. Todd, put a move on. Up to Biesenthal, it eluded her, but Riedman held the line. Alex Clavel, 28 seconds to go. Jade Todd, Todd back to Riedman. Gigi's trying to find an angle. Kathleen Riedman down low, back to Riedman, centering pass. Jade Todd to Clavel, Clavel Riedman. The angle's not right there. Marquin Joubert dumps that one down, and that'll do it. That pass was just in the middle of no man's land between Biesenthal and Todd. Kate McLean turns it over. Chloe Gendreau. Gendreau hauled down. It'll be a penalty, if not a penalty shot. Just waiting for the official. It's just a penalty. Yeah. So Chloe Gendreau draws a penalty, and Kate McLean pays for her mistake with the Gigi's first penalty kill of the game.
Yeah, and again, that is it was just the wrong play at that time. Instead of using the space that, she had and the speed that McLean had towards the outside along the board, she elected to just try to cut through the middle, but there were about 3 stingers there. One of them, being, I think it was Gendreau there, and causes McLean to basically take a penalty and stop a goal, potentially.
Big and Sear slow to get off the bench. A little bit of a mess at the bench. GG's will be short for 2 or less, and Phil Bear steps in to take the draw. Scrambled one that comes out in her favor. Lavoie, Big and Sear, watch Drapeau at the back post! Just like they drew it up, the Stingers lead by 2.
And that was the exact play that happened in the first period where Drapeau didn't get a good handle on it and ended up missing. Here, she made no mistake. She bared down on that, and, power play goal for the Stingers puts them ahead 3-1 against the GGs, scoring 7 seconds into the power play.
That GG's penalty kill has not been a bright spot, 81.8%, and it'll get worse tonight. Drapeau.
And again, it's just that communication with your other players on the ice at that time. Backdoor is the one spot you don't want to allow a player to be without any pressure.
Drapeau's
you have to take that.
Drapeau's 7th assist. Big N Sear will get her 2nd assist of the season. And the GGs find themselves in a hole. And they'll take another penalty. Catherine Birkby for head contact.
And you can see Birkby there talking as Bega and Sear actually hit Birkby as well. So I don't, I agree with calling Birkby. That was a penalty, but at the end of the day, you take both of them and you do offsetting. So, it feels like the officials are just making up calls at this point in the game.
You're always so kind to the officials, Brianna.
I am. Hey, I played with these same officials. I know exactly how they roll.
It's another opportunity. That one stepped into by Boyer, and it's blockered aside there by Orly Dubuc.
Great job there by Dubuc, and not really traffic in front, so she was able to see the puck coming through.
Chloe Gendreau is able to keep the puck moving back to her, and it's just wide. Lavoie picks it up. Back to Boyer. Boyer to Lavoie. Lavoie, touch pass, cross ice, looking for Veillette. This goes down quickly by Clavel. It's behind the net. Dubuc wasn't able to be controlled, and a couple of hacks at it in front by Bureau Gagnon. Are they going to get Jamie McDonald for a second penalty because she took a healthy hack? It looks like Jamie McDonald is headed to the penalty box. The Stingers will be 5-on-3 for a minute 24 seconds. And if you're going to call it both ways. Again, that a mess in front that Bureau Gagnon took a whack at Orly Dubuc. Yeah. Phil Bear, touch pass. It's beautiful, and a nice save there by Dubuc. And
And again, you have another whack at Dubuc as it was already covered, and that one was by Moquin-Joubert, and officials are standing right there, so I'm just not going to say anything because I have nothing kind to say about the officials.
Jade Todd steps in for this one, and it's one. Leonie Philbert, Drapeau, Philbert. Drapeau, the most recent goal scorer, was on this power play. Fecteau, a big block there by Sims.
Yeah, and good positioning by Sims, too, keeping them to the outside without overcommitting.
Philbert.
And again, you see
Sear off the
Drapeau
curler.
back door.
Drapeau.
Good job by
Fecteau
Dubuc.
can't jam it home, and Gigi's just able to get it out to center. Philbert back to Drapeau. Drapeau touches it to Fecteau. Fecteau has Moquin-Joubert on the outside. So likes to find her. Big and Sear in the middle, and that one just in no man's land.
And Gigi's did a good job of at least putting their sticks in the lane there to make it a little bit more difficult to get that pass through.
Reedman closed down by 2 Stingers. Lavoie picks it up, drops it for Bureau Gagnon.
Good job by Clavel there intercepting that pass.
Birkby will step out momentarily as Boyer steps into that one. It's loose in the slot. Gendreau trying to jam it home and comes out. Birkby steps out of the penalty box and comes and cleans up.
Good kill there for 5-on-3 by the GGs. And just about 20 seconds until they're at full strength again.
Bureau Gagnon hits the ice. The arms stay down, and Reedman will send that one the length of the ice. So that'll do it for the penalties.
For now.
GG's improved to 2 for 3 on the day. Though keeping the first one out would have been what they had wanted. Here's Boulanger. GG's have 4 minutes and 26 seconds to find 2 goals in this one if they hope to push it to the extra frame. Boulanger shot through a crowd that Orly Dubuc freezes up. Draw one by the Stingers. Fecteau, nice little head fake. Jim McDonald stayed with her. Richard, a shot, that one always going wide. McDonald picks it back up. Will send it cross ice. Fecteau couldn't hold the line. Big and Sear on the backhand. She has a step. Big and Sear saved by Orly Dubuc.
That was a good job by Jamie McDonald keeping Big Sear to the outside there, so she didn't have much to shoot at. It was a bit of a team effort there by McDonald and McLean as they kind of ran into each other, ran out of space. McLean was almost pushing her forward, helping out on the effort there.
Nice little edge work there from Drapeau. Was able to get a shot off that almost beat Orly Dubuc.
And even Sims thought that Dubuc had it, actually. It was just trying to block people from getting to her.
Harkness harassed by Drapeau, and she's able to get the puck down into the zone. Left for Boyer, up to Drapeau. Jesse Mao, Drapeau. Lavoie. Cross ice to Philbert. Philbert up to Gendreau. Gendreau has the hands to create some space. Chloe Gendreau. Hale. Olivia Hale still on it, trying to get it to the front of the net, and it finds its way to Prue. Angelique Prue will just backhand it to center. It's rung into the zone. And here goes Abigail Malotny. Malotny watched by Veillette, and Veillette a strong stick to poke it off her.
Good defensive play there by Veillette. And again, not overcommitting. and just a clean poke check to knock the puck off Malotny's stick.
Rice unable to hold the line, and here's Lalonde. Kylie Lalonde, a shot. That one had a little too much muster on it. The GGs pull the goalie. Oh, a big check there by Bilodeau. And the GGs will be shorthanded, so Dubuc will return to the net.
And again, you know, you talk about the officiating going both ways. We saw in the first period, Malotny got absolutely cranked from behind, arm stay down. This is, I'd say, a less, you know, dirty play in terms of what happened there, and the arm goes up. So it's, again, we're all used to it here at the RSCQ.
Brianna, that was a penalty.
It totally was, but so was it in the first period. 100%.
If and buts were candy and nuts, either or, the GGs will be short for 2 minutes as Beatrice Bilodeau heads off. Just a reminder, we'll be back in action Wednesday evening, as the Gators head to the University of Ottawa. It's a home and home to finish off the regular season. Boyer, back to Boyer. Nice little movement on the power play for the Stingers.
Oh, we have another penalty coming here, as I believe it looked like Began-Cyr who tripped up Birkby. And that'll do it for the power play. And it's now 4-on-4 action for 1 minute and 40 seconds. Lots of open ice here with 4-on-4. Be interesting to see if Dubuc comes off. She's looking at the bench way past the top of her crease to see if she's getting the nod to come off, but not at this instance.
GG's lost the draw, and that might have been it.
But good job by McDonald to break up that play with Gendreau.
Sent cross ice looking for Chloe Gendreau. Alyssa Biesenthal steps up and picks up a loose puck. There goes Aurélie Dubuc, and Lavoie picks it right back up. Lavoie can't get past Prue, and Biesenthal goes for a skate. Ooh, Biesenthal puts the moves on. That one stayed in. They call Harkness offside. They'll say it just squeaked out.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even think it was the linesman who was calling it offside. It was, I think it looked like Gendreau who was saying that it was offside, and then the arm went up. So, interesting. Regardless, offside, and there is a timeout that's taken. You see at the GG's bench here, assistant coach Greg Bowles with the board out to drop some magic for this last minute and 17 seconds of this game.
GG's need a miracle. They're down by 2 against a team that doesn't give up very many goals. Just to look forward, the GGs take on the Gators twice before the end of the season. Once here on Friday, that's our last broadcast before the playoffs. Sorry, Wednesday. Thank you, Brianna.
It's a random day. I keep forgetting that they play on Wednesday.
That one rescheduled from the ice storm. And then they'll head up to Sherbrooke, Quebec to finish off the regular season. And then we'll see what the playoffs has in store. It's possible that we'll have 2 games here at the Minto Sports, a possible 2 games here at the Minto Sports Complex, or just 1. As the GGs win the faceoff, a reminder the net's still empty as Jade Todd carries it over the line. She's all wrapped up by Hale. Clavel. Jade Todd. Down low. Clavel walks the line, back to Todd. Biesenthal looking for a little bit of time and space. It's swallowed up by Olivia Hale. She passed it right to Abigail Malotny, and Malotny unable to find the back of the net. Biesenthal drops for Reedman, who wasn't on the same page. Goes down quickly. Drapeau has the puck poked off her stick. Hale will pin the puck and buy some more time. This Veillette will follow suit as it finds its way to her. Vecto elects to do the same thing. Stingers happy to just see this one out. Jade Todd, Reedman, Kathleen Reedman, and it's saved by Elise Philbert. Just to finish the thought on the remainder of the season, GGs will head to Sherbrooke, Quebec for a game over the Family Day weekend, and then playoff schedules will be out as that one's sent goalwards. Make sure to follow the GG's women's hockey social media pages as that does it for this. For that playoff schedule, the GG's already have booked their ticket to the RSEQ playoffs. Match up against Montreal, looking more and more likely to be in store and almost confirmed to be in store with today's win as the Concordia Stingers lock up the top spot in the RSEQ. Brianna will quickly get into your 3 stars of the night.
And to be honest, this was a really tough game in all sense of the word to pick the 3 stars. But with that, the 3rd star is from you, Ottawa, number 8, Jamie McDonald. Now, as a defenseman, it's always hard, I find, to get a star of the game. But overall, just a steady game. Wonderful defensive plays, including just sliding backwards and breaking up a lot of passes, pinching up. And so that's why I thought she was deserving of this star for this afternoon. 2nd star is also from you, Ottawa. It was with one of the nastiest goals I've ever seen. It's Alyssa Biesenthal. And again, all over the ice doing what she could. So wonderful there. And for 1st star, went back and forth a little bit on this one, but I chose Jessie Mode Drapeau, number 15 from Concordia Stingers. Not only did she have an absolutely beautiful goal on the power play, backdoor there, but again, we said her name quite a bit throughout the game. Just phenomenal play throughout the entire game and very well deserved.
Caused havoc all day, and the GGs are hopeful they'll have another matchup against the Stingers, or maybe 2. But for Declan DeBart and Brianna Newell, we'll be back at midweek for our game against Bishops. That one gets underway at 7 o'clock. You guys enjoy your Sunday. You guys enjoy your week, and we'll talk on Wednesday.